What's happening, everybody? Late night crypto talk. Bitcoin Brandon here. We're going to get started in a second. Thank God it's Friday, right? You guys ready for the weekend? What's going on, LaRon? Anthony, Mr. McCoy. Scott Storch Beats. This is actually Stat Quo. Stat Quo Beats. What's happening, Gerald? What's going on, Shauna? Oh, Cap, I know you're up late. Well, 4 a.m. for you in Barcelona, Spain. What's going on, Jeremy? That's right, flip-flop lifestyle. I've been living a flip-flop lifestyle for years now. Gonna have some fun tonight. Every now and then, somehow, sex and crypto always seems to meet each other, right? I love when I find articles like this. It's funny to me. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, share my opinion, give suggestions, and you take that information and do what you please with it. You follow these 4 crypto laws and you will have success in this space. Number 1, get educated. Number 2, never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. Number 3, always go for your return on investment first. Don't get greedy. And number 4, have a game plan. Have a plan of action. Where do you want to be in 3 months, 6 months, 1 year from now? Have a plan A, B, C, and D. Don't get distracted. Stay focused. And if you follow these 4 things, you will limit your risk in the crypto space. And that's the best that you can ask for. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Tonight, Friday night, I just lifted my head up from working all doggone day. And so I got to get this in, get this Facebook Live in tonight. We are on a countdown to our soft launch, what we've been working for the last couple of months. What's going on, Mama Bear? Miss Kathy Keene from Hawaii, one of the co-owners with Jeremy, is also on the line tonight. And I'm with Mr. McCoy. We're ready to make this run. This is going to be the biggest run we've ever done. So I'm going to start tonight with Dubai. Now, originally I was planning on going to Dubai this year. I need an excuse to get over there. Sometime in the future, I'll be in Dubai. But what's happening in Dubai? It says Dubai sets sights on becoming the world's first blockchain-powered government. You know what happens when things like this happen? It's like a domino effect. If other countries and governments want to remain competitive, they're going to have to follow suit. That's exactly what happened to JP Morgan Chase. Doing a 360 on what they were saying just 6 months ago. So let's take a look at this article. It says Dubai, or dubbed as the city of the future. Dubai, which plans to have robot cops, what? Flying taxis and autonomous vehicles on its roads in coming years, and appointed a minister in charge of artificial intelligence recently? What, are they trying to be the Wakanda of the Middle East? You got to go watch the movie Black Panther. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, is there anybody out there right now that hasn't seen Black Panther yet at this stage? They've only done like $1 billion or so. The Wakanda of the Middle East. Dubai. Flying cars and taxis. Robot cops. Minister of Artificial Intelligence. Kathy, you haven't seen Black Panther yet? You got to go see it. You got to go see Black Panther. All right. They want to become the world's first blockchain-powered government. How's that going to work? By 2020, the Emirate wants all visa applications, bill payments, and license renewals, which account for over 100 million documents a year. That's a lot. When you think about it, the manpower it takes to process all of that. They want it to be transacted digitally using the blockchain. According to Smart Dubai, which is conducting government and private organization workshops to identify services that can be best enhanced by blockchain adoption, the strategy could save 25.1 million man-hours. Wow. Talk about eliminating government waste. It could save 25.1 million man-hours, or $1.5 billion in savings per year for the Emirate. Much of this enhanced productivity will stem from moving to a paperless government. Given the untamperable data, the record provided by the technology, real estate hasn't escaped blockchain disruption either. Aiming to radically transform how people buy, sell, and lease real estate, Dubai Land Department, the government agency tasked with overseeing land purchases and approving real estate trades in October, launched a blockchain-powered system to help secure financial transactions, electronically record all real estate contracts, and connect homeowners and tenants to property-related billers such as electrical, water, and telecommunications utilities. They said our aim is to unite all real estate and department services on a single platform, said Sultan Bouti bin Mehrin, Director General of DLD, in a press statement. This initiative is still in a stage of infancy. In the near future, we will see many partners joining blockchain to improve their client services, including banking, mortgages, and utilities and maintenance operations. You know, even though they say this is in an infancy, if you know anything about Dubai, they don't wait on anything. Have you ever seen what Dubai looked like just 30 years ago? It's a freaking desert. There was nothing out there. Desert and then an ocean. And all of a sudden, in like 20 years, the skyline sprouted up out of nowhere. So I don't doubt that they're not going to make this happen, or that they will make this happen. The introduction of blockchain in real estate is significant for a city that is ranked 4th in the world with the biggest inflow of high net worth individuals. So people are actually moving to Dubai. You know, in the UK, expats would always move to either Vietnam, the Philippines, or Japan. Now you're going to start seeing them all flooding, especially if you've got money, flooding into Dubai. It says, according to DLD, the technology, with its fraud prevention and transparency capabilities, has the potential to affect thousands of global investors in Dubai each year, gaining their confidence. The Emirates property sector is projected to see a ramp up in 2018, thanks to adoption of blockchain, launch of a series of mega projects. All right, they got a link here. I'm going to save this for later. What mega projects that they're about to do. And a growing demand for new apartments ahead of Expo 2020. What is Expo 2020? What's going on in 2020? You guys know? I haven't heard of that. Expo 2020 in Dubai. I got to be there for that. I don't know what it is, but it sounds like something I got to be at. Wow. I'm looking at this link. Are you kidding me? They are not playing. They're literally carving islands out in the ocean. What the world is... I wonder how much that stuff costs. Let me put a link to this. This is seriously, this is like Wakanda. Let me copy this link and put it in the chat box so you can see. This is literally Disneyland for the millionaires and billionaires. All right, back to the article. As earlier this year, apartments in development in Dubai started selling for Bitcoin. The adoption of blockchain in real estate, however, is only a first step. In October, the Emirate also launched its own blockchain-based cryptocurrency called Mcash or eMcash, however they pronounce that people can use to pay for government and non-government services. A digital currency has varied advantages: faster processing, improved delivery time, less complexity, and cost. It will improve ease of business and quality of life in Dubai. I didn't know quality of life in Dubai was bad. Look at Kathy. Some of her partners built apartments there and reselling them for $3 million or pre-selling them for $3 million. Let's get this Bitcoin money and have some fun around the world. That sounds interesting. I'm going to keep an eye on Dubai. All right, now for the next article. Yep. It's back. Somehow the sex industry and cryptocurrency run head and head into each other. So what can that be? What is going on? I'm still tripping over this Dubai. I'm looking at these pictures here. So let's do a quick little recap. You know, early last year, there was an article that talked about very lonely men late at night when the family goes to sleep and they're on the internet, and you know what they be doing on the computer, that they can now do their business with Bitcoin and not have to worry about their credit card transactions from these internet sites getting into the eyeballs of their wives or girlfriends or significant other. Use Bitcoin for porn. Then there was an article about the Bunny Ranch. The Bunny Ranch accepting Bitcoin. You know, the place that Lamar Odom was at, spent like, how do you spend $75,000? He spent 75 grand at the Bunny Ranch. But you can spend that money now using Bitcoin. And then finally, what was it? Last week, what did we cover? Oh, 2 weeks ago. It was that strippers in Vegas are now accepting Bitcoin as payment via QR codes tattooed on their body, that all you have to do is swipe your phone and they get paid. So no more making it rain at the club. Everybody's going to have their phones out. You guys remember that? See, here's the deal. For the critics that try to say Bitcoin isn't real money, when the federal government is saying, oh, it's not a currency, the moment pimps, strippers, porn stars, and prostitutes accept cryptocurrency for their services, you better believe it's real money. It's the real deal. You guys understand that? It's the real deal. I had fun with that article. The only thing that I was disappointed with was that they never answered my question. Just where in the world are those QR code tattoos on the strippers' bodies? I'm just curious. I just want to know, where am I going to wave my phone? So I'm going to have to send my partners in Vegas to go up there to do some research. It is research. Legal research. We just want to know. Well, what's the news for tonight? And I was wondering how long this would take. But the news tonight says, let there be sex. Roadmap of VR technology company. Ocoin project for March 2018. It is March. We're here right now. So what are they talking about? I have not read this article. Let's see if they don't disappoint? Or did they just use the subject line to get my attention? All right, let there be sex, not some sex. Sophisticated, technological. Just think, new technologies emerges every day, opening up new horizons of sexual experience for men and women. Everything you could not have been experienced in reality before, for some reasons, prejudice, ethical norms, embarrassment, guilt, and social stigma, is now available in the virtual environment. So people are getting their freak on in the virtual space. Whereas emotions and sensations are as close as possible to the real ones. The VR OKO platform is one of such technologies. Wait, did I put this link in the... Yeah, I put it in the chat box. All right. Putting on the VR OKO helmet, the viewer is immersed in a spherical video with a viewing angle of 180 degrees. This is the game-changing principle of viewing erotic films, which will be appreciated by those who are bored with traditional ones. All right, so this is Friday night. Those of you guys that feel, you're not at the club no more. So you take your business privately in the comfort of your own home when everybody goes to sleep and you're on the internet doing your thing. They're taking it to a whole nother level now. Virtual reality. It's the next generation video, VR plus full interactivity. But that's not all. Imagine that actors and actresses from the screen appear right in your room. And even more, you get at your disposal a porno constructor? What the heck is that? With the help of which you create a storyline you want? Huh. You know what's dangerous about that? I don't. Donald Trump immediately came to mind when I read that statement. What's dangerous about that is those of you that are super freaks and, the bunny ranch, the strip clubs, the porno videos, it's not doing it for you. And you've got these sick fetishes and you put on that VR helmet and you can actually create your own storyline, whatever sick, twisted stuff you're going to do to get off on. I mean, how secure is that? Who might be recording you? I read in the news article a couple of days ago that, did you know that the Geek Squad is working with the FBI? That people that put their computers in there to the Geek Squad overnight to be worked on, the Geek Squad's looking at all your stuff. And if you've got child pornography on your computer, they're reporting you to the FBI. As they should. But I'm looking at a bigger issue here as far as privacy. But let me continue. I'm going off track on that. But that's not all. All right, I read that part. All of these will be in the format of virtual reality. Creation of such a constructor is a key goal of the VR technology team. And from March 2018, its story begins. As the project is large and serious, and the main source of financing are funds of the shareholders of the company and crowdfunding through the ICO. There's an ICO on this? I haven't heard of this one. The company will report on the results of the work every 10 days. Okay, Kathy said it right. Sex sells. I see opportunity here. The only news to hit the VR world lately was the fact that some kind of glitch in the code shut all VR headsets off around the world. Some kind of expiration thing that they overlooked. But this technology, and they come out leading with, because it's the implications that you can use it for this. Think about it in the military. military training with this technology. Think about video games with this type of technology. Think about the education field, being able to teach classrooms all over the world, you just by putting a headset on. In fact, there's a movie coming out right now with this type of technology called Ready Player One. But what they're doing is they're leading with sex, because sex sells. That's right. Sex sells. People that want to get their crypto booty on. Smart. But what I'm looking at is if they're in ICO phase and they're about to launch their own coin with this, somebody's about to make a whole lot of money. I'm going to have to look into this a little bit further. Okay, let me continue. It says this will allow VR technology remain as open as possible with transparent businesses processes. Any feedback from the community is welcome. All right, I guess they're looking for some volunteers. Feedback from the community, especially if it is constructive criticism. Only that way you can make a truly valuable and highly demanded product. Oh yeah, you didn't know, Jeremy? I did a whole series. What was it, 2 or 3 months ago? For those lonely men that's looking for some crypto booty, how to do it at the bar. It's not hard. I'll do a recap at the end of this, because somebody always shoots me a text afterwards. You know, I didn't want to ask the question so everybody could see that it was me, but you know, could you tell me more? Could you hook me up? So I'll help you out in a second. Let me finish this article. It's also why education is so important, because if you are educated in the crypto space and you decide to use that knowledge, you know, power, you got to be careful with that. It's powerful. You've got knowledge in the crypto. It's a status symbol. But I'll cover that in a second here. There have always been difficulties with settlements in the 18+ industry and at different levels, starting from government regulation, ending with processing of payments. Moreover, there was no concept of anonymity as such that strongly limited the consumer empowerment. That is why VR technology has started developing a payment system. OKOPay is a decentralized payment system based on smart contracts, of course, in the Ethereum infrastructure. It uses OCoin tokens as a means of payment and settlement. OKOPay is an integral part of the OKO platform and is designed to address issues of anonymity of payments and the spread of mutual settlements. Major work on the system is scheduled to the second quarter of 2018. It is fast, simple, and anonymous. Users who previously could not openly purchase adult content because of the risk of being compromised now face no restrictions using the system OKOPay. In addition, another advantage of a decentralized blockchain-based payment system is the absolute transparency of operations. The next step in the evolution of the payment system OKOPay is the consistent takeover of segments of the adult market and their linking to a single settlement instrument. Ultimately, this is convenient for both consumers and suppliers of goods and services for adults. All right, this just goes on into more technical jargon. Doesn't talk about sex anymore, so I lost my attention. But the technology is here, and it is expanding rapidly. When you start seeing stuff in the movies, you know, they probably already got that in the works, or the technology is here. They're thinking about it. Go watch the movie, because my kids want to see it, Ready Player One. They want to see Ready Player One. And that's kind of, use your imagination with what you can do with this type of technology. Now, let me answer the question so I don't get bombarded by you lonely dudes once I hang up on this Facebook Live. You said crypto booty. How can I get me some crypto booty? All right. Here's a simple way. You have to understand psychology. I am not a bar person. I don't go to the bar. I don't hang out just to drink and hook up. That's not my thing. But if I were to, I know what to do. You see, because when you're in a bar setting, you're competing for the attention of other lonely women that are at the bar. Everybody knows what they're there for. It's like a mating ritual. And if you've got loud music going on, it's like being at the club. Body language is everything. But body language also, you got to have a conversation. And if you want the opposite sex's attention, you want to know how fast you're going to get it? Start talking about Bitcoin. You will be surprised. You will be shocked. Let's say you got two dudes at a bar and one girl in the middle, and she needs to, you got to compete with the other dude to get her attention. And you know how it is. 9 times out of 10, guys don't know how to listen. They talk and brag about who they are, what they got, what kind of car they drive, their business, how much money they make, and all that kind of stuff to try to impress the girl. My father taught me long ago, God gave you 2 ears and a mouth, use it in that proportion. Listen, and you will have no problems talking to the opposite sex. Listen. So, let's say you're the other dude, and you're kind of striking up a conversation as well. You know, what do you do for a living? No, you're off of work right now, blah, 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 small talk. And then you turn around and say, oh yeah, I don't have a job. I'm a Bitcoin investor. Those 2 words right there. What am I breaking the man code, Shane? You just kind of drop, yeah, I'm a Bitcoin investor. Watch how her eyes light up. You have to think, she's already got some alcohol in her at this point. Inhibitions are down. She will light up. You want to know why? More than 50% of the American population has heard of Bitcoin. Only 5% has bought any Bitcoin, and only 0.5% understand it. So most of them hearing about it, they hear about it either on the news, or they watch Big Bang Theory, or they saw Ellen DeGeneres do a show about it on TV, or they had a cousin or a partner at work that talk about it at the water cooler. And there's nowhere to go to get this information. There's no official training, stuff like that. There's no place outside. Well, if they go to YouTube, because people, why are you launching cryptogenics? Why are you charging people for education when they could just go to YouTube and get it for free? The same reason why I go and get my car detailed and washed instead of doing it myself in the driveway. Don't say something silly. You get what you pay for. Why go to Harvard when I can go to University of Phoenix and get the same information? Get out of here with that. Go sit down somewhere. But you bring up in a social setting that you know something about Bitcoin, you just separated yourself from 99% of all dudes up in there. You got her attention because she's going to say, wow, I heard about it, but I don't really understand it. I go to YouTube. There's so much stuff out there. I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know who can teach me about it. Tell me more. Watch her body language change and be completely 100% in your direction. Now, someone challenged me on this. Is this true? Will it actually work? Because you turn around and say, yeah, I'd love to tell you more about it. How about at dinner tomorrow night? It's kind of loud in here. More on a private set. Sure, let's get together, let's hook up. Or breakfast tomorrow morning. Depends on what you're there for. I don't know what goes on in the bar. But you can set yourself up with a date. But someone challenged me. Is that true? Does that really work? And I said, well, we're going to have to do a field test, right? So I'll give you an example. Personal example. It's been no secret. I had a, what do you call it? A medical issue a year and a half ago where I was diagnosed with what's called sudden rapid hearing loss in my left ear. And the doctors have no idea why. It just came out of nowhere. a month after I turned 40. That was the summer of 2016. During the whole process, the ENT and the doctors were like, yeah, you're probably, you're going to have to get a hearing aid or something. I'm like, you should get a hearing aid. Yeah, right? I'm 40 years old. I ain't getting no freaking hearing aid like I'm grandpa. So I didn't, because I could still hear. People didn't know it. I just adapted to it. But as I started, going to the doctor more, they said you need to, for your brain and for your health, because your brain is forgetting how things sound. And even I noticed my own voice sounded much, much different to me. And people started sounding, you can recognize people's voice. But to me, it was sounding different. But I adapted to it. So finally, I broke down and said, you know what, let me go try this thing out. They got all this new technology for hearing aids. So I went to, and I finally did that process in January. And I went and I got my hearing aid, and I love it, and I'm kicking myself for not doing it before. You can't imagine what it feels like to all of a sudden hear your voice again for the first time in a year and a half, how you really sound. I was nervous. I was nervous about my own voice, because it wasn't sounding the same to me. Now it's like I'm back, but you guys hear it, but I couldn't hear it. But anyways, let's get to the test here. Real world environment proof. Does it work? So I'm at the spot, right, to go and pick up finally went through a couple of tests and go to pick up the hearing aid. And I'm at the counter to set up my next appointment. The girl at the counter, she had her face on the computer. Not once did she actually look at me. So she's like, yeah, Mr. Ivey, so when is your next appointment? When do you want to have your next appointment? What day would be good? So I'm going through that process. She said, what would be better for you, morning or afternoon? I'm like, give me the morning. Right after I come from the gym, I can knock that out before, I really get my day started. And so then she starts, she said, yeah, I noticed you always come in here, whenever. Do you have a job? I mean, your job lets you to get off like that? I said, I don't have a job. I work from home. She still did not look up at me or change any body language. 90% of communication is body language. I studied that stuff. So she didn't change anything. She just doing her thing on the computer. Like I'm just any old Joe Blow up in there setting an appointment, 1 in 100 that she's got to deal with every day. And then she started to get a little curious. Said, oh, you work from home? Great. What do you do? Oh, I invest in Bitcoin. It's like night and day happened. Then she turned up and looked at me. And she said, invest in Bitcoin. You do that from home? It's making you enough money you can work from home? I said, oh yeah, definitely. And then her entire body language changed. She shifts her direction, all bright eyes and smiling at me, and, whipping the hair off to the side to reveal the neck, all the little things, if you know what to look for. And she's getting giddy now. I'm like, oh my gosh, people talk about that all the time, and I don't know anything about it. I don't even know anyone that's buying Bitcoin. But wow, you're living off of that stuff? I said, yeah, if you know what to do, then it's not hard. I mean, this is the greatest wealth transfer. Most people don't even know about it. Oh, I want to know so much about it. And then she was like, yeah, you come here all the time. Are you local? Do you live around here? I'm like, yeah, I live about 5 minutes away. It's like, oh, I actually live so you're from Laverne. I live in San Dimas. That's like the next city over. Oh my gosh, what high school did you go to? Oh, I went to this high school and that. It would be great if we can get together sometime. You can tell me more about this Bitcoin stuff. I'd love to learn more. Really? And then she gives me a card. And then she puts, it was the appointment card. Think about if you go to a dentist, they give you an appointment for your next visit. And then on the back was another number. It was her number. Said, yeah, feel free to call me up. Let's set it up sometime. I'd love to learn more about it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know the deal. I was like, this stuff actually works. So for those of you lonely men out there, if you want an advantage amongst your peers, then what you want to do is when Cryptogenics launches, you want to sign up with Cryptogenics. You want to go through our Bitcoin education courses. You want to arm yourself with that information. And then you want to go out there and put it to work. Have a conversation with people. Start talking about Bitcoin. You actually know something now. And watch how people treat you differently. Because in the future, it is going to be a status symbol. Anybody that owns at least one Bitcoin is like you pulling up in a freaking Lambo. It's rare. Get started now. Put it into practice. I'm telling you, it works. Ain't that right, Lashana? It works. But if you don't know nothing about, here's the worst thing that you can do, though. If you try to cheat and think you know just a little bit about Bitcoin, and you try to strike up a convo with a woman and she knows about Bitcoin, and she's able to tell your BS real quick, you're going to look very foolish. And she will call you out. She'll laugh at you. Oh, that's cute. You don't know everything. You know a little bit. I guess so. So, and I'm going to put this to the test again in the future. You know, you just can't go off of one result. A good scientist has to be able to duplicate in the field to see if you get the same result more than over. I think I'll get the same result every single time, but more study is required. So those of you guys out there, it's Friday night. I hope you learned something tonight. Every time we do these is a learning experience. We learned about Dubai. We learned about VR technology. We learned about crypto booty. It's Friday night. Go do your thing. 1 week from now, or less than a week from now, is our soft launch. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, we're having a very special update Zoom call with one of our co-founders, Stephen McCullough, that's going to share screen and show you guys some updates. I'm also going to cover what to do to prepare for pre-launch. How to have the best pre-launch that you've ever had. What you should be doing. What to expect. 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow on www.cryptogenics.net. I'll put that in the chat box right now. 3 p.m. Eastern. www.cryptogenics.net. Someone asked me, I said, why are you playing, Marvin Gaye? I'm not playing any of these mumbling clown rappers today talking about sex. They ain't talking about it the right way. This generation don't know nothing. We got to go old school. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you all early morning crypto talk tomorrow morning. And then 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. Special update call for Cryptogenics. Bitcoin Brandon out. Bye-bye.
Cryptogenics.